Hi guys, this is Ahson Saeed. I head business development group in TPS Worldwide. So we all know in today's times, because the COVID-19 pandemic situation all around the world, the conversation around converting cash to digital has actually become, a macroeconomic debate in many countries now around the globe, where the entire effort is now being made by the governments as well as the central banks to convert cash into digital, and to digitize the different various payment flows that are particularly available in any market, from cash to cashless. And so looking at that background, I'll be talking about how to structure that core, the core platform and the infrastructure around it to digitize various types of payment use cases in any particular country or in any particular market. So when we talk about interoperable payment systems, so the word interoperability is not just limited to one type of payment instrument or one type of acceptance channels, or just one type of interoperability, which is more available in most of the countries now, where when we talk about creating interoperable banking services or interoperable mobile wallet services. A complete interoperable domestic payment system is actually is a convergence of all the various building blocks in the entire country's ecosystem, which covers the payment processors, which covers the government entities, which covers the financial institutions, which covers the electronic money institutions or mobile wallet players. So it covers the whole nine yards of all the different stakeholders in any economy. Either those stakeholders are the payment initiators or the participants, or the ones or those institutions that actually accept payments or process those payments. So there's a huge debate going on in terms of digitizing the different payment use cases in any economy. And to do that, it's very important to have a true interoperable payment system running in any particular market. So that system should be able to provide a broad-based interoperable framework, which should allow banks, telecom operators, central bank, and all the different entities in any particular market to actually interoperate together. And that also covers the demand side institutions like government institutions, corporates, billing institutions, billing institutions, utility companies, and all the various types of institutions that are part of that whole payment ecosystem. So then you also have to allow interoperability across various payment instruments like bank accounts, like scheme cards or domestic cards, like mobile wallets, like agent to agent, USSD based payments, or different types of mobile payments, like app based payments, or e-commerce payments, or QR code based payments. So that is one area. The other area is that you have to enable the underlying rails based on open APIs, based on ISO 20022 based message specifications, which is also these days called as the new language of payments. It's a new age payment messaging protocol. So you need to have those rails available for message integrations, and for the payments to actually uh, you know uh, transition from one initiator to the other institution. So then Real-time faster payments is the need of the time, need of the hour, because all these different types of payment use cases can only be digitized when there is a real-time payment mechanism available, which also allows straight through processing between different payment systems and allow the same day or real-time settlement of funds to complete the entire transaction. Then there are areas around dispute, fraud, risk management. Uh, you know, um, so all of these areas have to be, you know, uh, uh, integrated to brought together under an interoperable payment system to allow the digitization of different types of payments in any particular economy. So to be more specific, when you talk about payment instruments, as I said, there are multiple type of payment instruments available in any country you talk about. You have payment scheme cards, be it Visa, Mastercard, American Express, Union Pay, JCB, Diners Club, and all these types of various international payment scheme cards. Then under those card schemes, you have debit cards, credit cards, prepaid cards, virtual cards, physical, virtual, all these different types of cards. Um, then there are bank accounts. Within those bank accounts, there are various categories like saving accounts, like current accounts, there are limited mandate accounts based on different types of regulations in different countries. So all those type of accounts are actually payment instruments for different types of payments, right? Then there are private label cards, digital wallets, which are more prevalent in terms of provide in especially in the developing economies. These are the carriers for uh, digital financial inclusion of underbanked segments of the population. So digital wallets, and then mobile top-ups and airtime. So these are all different types of payment instruments. And on the other side, there are various types of payment services like government to person payments in terms of social disbursements by government and all those types of programs. Then you have personal payments like bill payments, like utility payments, like paying school fees or club fees or all these different types of personal payments. Then you have corporate payments like supply chain payments, salaries, payroll, and all those types of payments. Then there are retail payments, both in store as well as e-commerce. Then you have remittances, like it could be international remittances in terms of cross-border payments, or it could be domestic remittances, like from one part of the country to another part of the country. So all these types of payment services, all these different types of payment instruments and payment services have to integrate together, have to be enabled through different types of institutions in the ecosystem, which could be scheme-based payment gateways, commercial banks, microfinance banks, fintechs, telecom operators, payment gateways. So all these different types of institutions having different types of licensing enabled through regulators are able to actually process those payments through payment instruments issuance as well as acceptance, and then enabling all these different types of use cases. On the other side, you have all these different types of supply side players like demand side players like telecom operators having their own agency networks. Then you have bill aggregators, which basically are companies who are having different relationships with all these different types of billers and aggregating them together to digitize their payment collections. So different types of billers could be utility companies, it could be schools, clubs, it could be airlines, it could be mass transit, it could be any ticketing system, or it could be any voucher based payment collection uh, company. Then there are commercial banks who are actually enabling corporate payments. There are merchant aggregators who are actually enabling retail and e-commerce payments. Then remitting companies, MTOs, and all these different exchange houses providing the mechanisms for cross-border remittances. So if you look at all these different types of stakeholders, all of them can be actually made to interact together through an interoperable digital platform, and that platform actually can reside in between, allowing different types of multiple APIs based integration frameworks, allowing different types of transactions to be defined as part of a complete workflow of transactions, allowing the entire transaction lifecycle management, then providing the settlement, dispute, and all these different types of backend operations related to payment processing across various payment systems, fraud and risk management in terms of allowing or mitigating the risk around different types of payments being processed through this platform. Then having adapters on the channels layer, which could be enabled to integrate with any third party or ancillary payment system in the entire value chain. TPS core expertise lies in actually providing this kind of platform, and our platform is called as Iris Enterprise Payment Suite. It basically covers the whole 9 yard of digital payment processing, starting from payment instrument issuance to enabling use cases of different types of payment services, and then to processing the entire workflow of payments in terms of customer authentication, institution authentication, to authorization of transactions, to processing of transactions, to allowing credits, to allowing transfers, to allowing B2B, P2P, and all these different types of retail as well as e-commerce or m-commerce payments. So we have the entire the complete umbrella platform, having all these different sub modules integrated into it, which is horizontally scalable, which is cloud ready, which is already running with 130 plus payment institutions and financial institutions around the world. It is also being utilized by various central banks to allow interoperable ecosystem and to digitize payment flows in different countries. I'm happy to answer any of your queries that you may have as an expert on Seamless East Africa, which is actually being held on 8th and 9th of September. I'll look forward to have a word with you, and if you want to have any discussion, I'll be available. Thank you very much. Cheers. Take care.